A crisp, comfortable night here in southern Hancock County. An interclass battle between two teams still getting to know each other. Welcome inside Kelso Stadium as the top-ranked Dragons of New Palestine in Class 4A host the Class 5A number 2 team in the Hawks of Decatur Central. Alongside Coach Bob Bartolomeo, I'm Kurt Darling. Coach, excellent to be with you here tonight on a very wonderful evening for some high school football between two teams that have only faced each other 3 times before, and yet this will be a really good matchup between two really good teams here this evening.
Without a doubt, Kurt. I think that, both teams are 1-0. Both teams want to establish themselves, as contenders for state titles. And, again, I think it's going to be a great ball game, one in which there'll be a lot of great football players on the field. And whenever you have that, you're going to have great football. So I'm really looking forward to this football game.
Indeed, as we're definitely trying to, and we'll definitely get some good stuff going here as, we have a good game here tonight as you have a freshman quarterback in Decatur Central going against a senior quarterback in Daniel Tippett, but you're also going to have a couple other quarterbacks, Ian Radabush as well. But needless to say here, Coach, your New Palestine, you're coming off of a really good win against a good Westfield team, and as you take a look at Daniel Tippett right there in his senior season, in his first time out at quarterback, 9 of 16, 150 yards and a touchdown to his credit in that first one, and he's a senior transfer from Warren Central, and he's getting some really good minutes here at quarterback.
Yeah, a very good football player, and talking with Coach Ralph tonight, he said he's going to play 2 quarterbacks along with Ian Radabush, but at the same time, Daniel Tippett's come in and done a great job. Not a real big kid, but guy can run it as well as throw the football. So, again, for him to come in and lead this football team, being a transfer, is a tribute to his prowess as a football player.
Still awaiting the opening tip-off, the coin toss here as we have both teams still on their respective sidelines. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, Beau Polston, he is the freshman quarterback for Decatur Central. 5 of 10, 144 yards and a touchdown at their previous game against Columbus North. That was a 26-12 win for him. But needless to say, he's a freshman quarterback, but still has a lot to learn here in this role. But still, he has a lot of talent showing.
Without a doubt. I talked to Coach Enright this week, and he was really high on his freshman Q. He's a good-looking kid. He's 6'2", 180 plus, and again, really good kid that can handle himself, and he can throw it around a little bit just watching him in warm-ups.
So we're at the middle, and we're in the middle of the coin toss right now as the New Palestine Dragons in their home red uniforms, the Decatur Central Hawks in their white road uniforms, and you see among the captains there, Coach Javian Jones, the usual starting left tackle here for the Decatur Central Hawks, but he is out with an injury tonight, so you're going to be seeing a couple other players as well, but also one player that you're going to be seeing a heavy dose of is Grayson Thomas, basically kind of thrown right in from that next man up mentality from a year ago. He had 24 carries for 187 yards last week.
Yeah, he's a guy that's been carrying the mail for New Pal for the last couple of years now, and I think he played a lot as a freshman. We were here as a couple of years ago. He's only a junior, but he has grown into his body. Coach Ralph's put some needed muscle and pounds on him, and he's a really good athletic running back.
And then as I was mentioning there, Coach Javian Jones here for Decatur Central, he is out tonight with an injury, so you're going to be seeing a freshman starter at left tackle, number 56, Alex Serber, 6'2", 220 pounds. So needless to say, if you're head coach Kyle Ralph on the defensive side of the ball, that's where you're probably going to be trying to attack early on.
Yeah, I don't, it's tough. Anytime you lose a senior offensive linemen in particular, they're hard to replace, obviously, when you got a freshman coming in. But Coach was pretty high on Alec. Thought he could step in and do a great job in terms of helping their offense roll, and it looks like New Pal's going to get the football to start the football game.
And so you're going to put the ball right in the hands of Daniel Tippett and Grayson Thomas, the offensive dynamic duo right there. Also, you're going to be seeing a lot of Blaine Nunnally at wide receiver, as well as Isaiah Thacker on the other side. On the defensive side of the ball here for Decatur Central, you're going to be seeing a lot of muscle indeed. Asen Stevens and Alex Lawson, those are the 2 players to watch out for the Hawks.
Good physical players. Stevens obviously is a Virginia Tech commit. Is a linebacker, 6'4", 230. He's a good-looking guy out there on the football field, and one that I'm sure is going to be a factor in this football game.
About set to go here at Kelso Stadium here in New Palestine, Indiana, the south of Hancock County. And here we will have Ashton Vogel get set to put his boot into the ball here for Decatur Central out of the Mid-State Conference under head coach Kyle Enright in his 7th season, 56-15, an impressive record for the Hawks to say the least. These two teams met in the 5A state championship back in 2018. A rematch of that one here tonight is underway here in southern Hancock County. And on the return is going to be Isaiah Thacker, and he cuts right up the middle and does a good job of keeping his hands on the ball as he gets back to about the 22-yard line to get the opening drive going here for the Dragons.
Great kick, a lot of height on the kick, and it took him all the way back to the 1. Obviously, if it goes into the end zone in high school, you got to take it out to the 20. But good coverage and really a good return, getting it out to about the 22-yard line for New Pal.
So here we go with the New Palestine Dragons offense. Daniel Tippett, number 15 out there, a 5'9", 146-pound senior. So not packing a lot of size, but certainly a lot of ability at that position. But to his back and left is Grayson Thomas, number 4. He has 1,288 career rushing yards to his name, 19 touchdowns since 2021, 5th all-time in New Pal history. And just right out of the gate, we have a whistle on the very first snap of this ball game and a flag.
Yeah, I think we had a little movement on the offense by New Pal and got a little nervous, a little hiccup to start the game. They'll settle down and get that rectified. Coach Ralph won't put up with penalties.
So that'll back him up 5 yards. And speaking of Kyle Ralph, 105-10 in his 10th season as the head coach of New Palestine. So that's averaging literally 1 loss per season over his 10 seasons here in New Pal.
I think it's safe to say his contract's pretty well solidified there.
And there's the quarterback keeper by Daniel Tippett to at least make up some of that penalty yardage. It'll be second down and still about maybe 13 or 14 yards or so.
Big physical offensive line, obviously, for New Pal. One of the keys to the game, I think, will be the trenches and who can control that line of scrimmage.
Luke Burgess and Ian Moore, the anchors. 2 Division I caliber players, and it looks like we may have, it looks like this might be an offsides, as you saw some movement there by Trey Hall, number 99, and there's the call.
Looks like the defense jumped into the neutral zone, which automatically shuts the play down, and it's rightfully so a safety valve there for both teams.
Trey Hall, one of the starters at defensive tackle here for Decatur Central, the guilty party there. So that makes up for the penalty yardage and then some change, 2nd down and 9. Tippett back to pass for the first time, and a nice dart over the middle for a first down. And on the reception there is Kyler Kropp, and he gets one out to about the 38-yard line.
Good play by Tippett, remaining calm in the pocket, finding the open receiver and rifling it in there. Again, good play by both the quarterback and the receiver there.
Kyler Kropp had 8 carries for 41 yards rushing. He only had 1 catch all game last game out, but he had 18 receptions a year ago for 188 yards and a touchdown, and an early timeout taken here by Coach Kyle Ralph, not exactly liking the organization of the offense here in this one, obviously.
Yeah, take a timeout. He's not real happy with his ball club right there, and he's chewing them out a little bit, which is understandable. But, again, you don't want to waste those timeouts this early in the football game. But especially after a big play, getting the first down and keep the chains moving. You had the defense a little bit on their heels, and so you want to keep that momentum going.
So this is the last non-conference matchup for both of these squads as the Decatur Central Hawks will open conference play out of the Mid-State Conference against Whiteland here next week on September 2nd. Meanwhile, the New Palestine Dragons, they will be going on the road to Yorktown to start a 3-game road stand. They will not be back here at Kelso Stadium until September 23rd when they take on Greenfield Central. So out of the timeout. Tippett sends Kropp in motion. He gets the call. He turns the corner, gets a nice block from Grayson Thomas, and that is close to a first down there for Kropp.
Yeah, they secured the edge there with the offensive line and a little buck sweep, so to speak, with the wide receiver coming around. And, again, nice play by the offense of the New Pal. Good blocking up front.
And it is good for a first down, and the Dragons are rolling. Tippett facing a three-man front. And here's the first handoff to Grayson Thomas tonight, and he sheds a couple tacklers. Keys stays on his feet, and he's going to go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. What a play by Grayson Thomas. He shed at least 3 tackles there, Coach.
They had it defensed really well scheme-wise. The safety was in the gap to make the play, and unfortunately he just missed the tackle. And credit to Grayson, slip sliding through that tackle. But then again, he made another guy miss down the road there a little bit and outran Stevens into the end zone. So what a great run, great blocking up front. The wing did a nice job of kicking out on the outside linebacker. And like I say, the safety filled the gap, and he just missed.
It's about a 52-yard scamper there by Grayson Thomas to get the go-ahead touchdown, and the subsequent extra point is good from Brendan Tanksley, who was perfect in that regard just a week ago against Westfield. And so just like that, you get a typical New Palestine opening drive, which results in 7 points. It's rare, Coach, that they end up not scoring on the first drive in some form.
Yeah, they got quite a few seniors on that football team, and especially on the offensive line. And they opened up some big holes there, and but again, the Decatur Central's coach's credit, they had it schemed up. It's just the kid missed the tackle. So, that happens, and you live with it, and hopefully you coach him up on the sideline and get the next one. But, again, Grayson's a hard guy to bring down, as evident by a good, strong run there. He ran through the one tackle that he made the safety missed, and then ran through another one on the sideline, and then hit the afterburners and ran it into the end zone.
New Palestine playing in Class 4A for the first time in a few seasons. They were in Class 5A since about 2018 or so, winning a couple state championships at the 5A level, but they have not won a state championship since 2019 because of the competitiveness going up against schools like Cathedral, who are now up in Class 6A. Meanwhile, New Pal has been put down in Class 4A. And there is a kick right into the arms of an up-back right there in the special teams scheme. Couldn't quite get a number on that as they bring it back out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it was a line driver, and one of the fullbacks there on the kick return team dropped it initially, but remained confident, remained cool, picked it up, and now Decatur Central's got pretty good field position, really, on the 33-yard line.
So that was Jalen Shanks, listed as a halfback on the Decatur Central roster. And so the ball sitting at the 33-yard line. First down here for the Hawks. And here we get our first look at Beau Polston. And immediately, looks like it's going to be another timeout taken by New Palestine. So Coach Kyle Ralph, just like in like manner with his offense, not exactly liking how his defense is lining up right there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that he had to use 2 timeouts here in the first 7-8 minutes of the game. And again, hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt him. But like you said, Kurt, he obviously didn't see or he did see something that he didn't like offensively, and they didn't make the right adjustments. So we'll see what happens here on 1st and 10.
So this is a defense anchored by the defensive back Isaiah Thacker, who's also a wide receiver on offense. Thacker, a 2-time All-State defensive back selection. He and his brother Daniel Thacker, also cornerbacks here for this defensive squad.
A lot of Thackers on this team.
Indeed, and there's actually a third Thacker as well on this New Palestine squad. He is the backup left tackle, Michael Thacker.
He's the starting defensive lineman here on this. I think he's the left DN there, number 52.
5.5 sacks a season ago there, did Michael. So here we go, first down and 10 for the Hawks. And trying to get a quick throw outside was Polston. Nothing doing there. Looking for his receiver. Looked like that was Taquan Taylor, the intended receiver.
Looks like a little mix-up. It looked like they run a little, not jet screen, but a little hitch screen out there, and just miscommunicated on the throw there to the number 1 receiver.
Shotgun again here for Polston. High snap. This time the give is to Cox. And he tries to turn the corner, and he runs right into the aforementioned Michael Thacker, getting his first tackle of the night. He had 7 of those a week ago against Westfield.
Jordan made the initial guy miss there, coming on a buck sweep, and then Thacker made a nice play converting and got him in 3rd and long here. So, again, this is a defensive coordinator's dream, 3rd and long, so we'll see what happens.
So it was good starting position here for Decatur Central, but they have gone backwards since. Ball sitting right at the 30-yard line, 3rd down and 12. Lots of options here for Polston. He takes the snap, has time to throw, looks long downfield in traffic, and just out of the reach of Isaiah Thacker going for the interception. Meanwhile, he was trying to find his receiver. Looked like that might have been Desmond Coleman. And actually, no, that was Trayvon Callahan, who couldn't quite get his hands on that as he was surrounded by a sea of red shirts in the defensive backfield. And the Decatur Central Hawks are going to have to punt here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to go 3 and out and with that good starting field position. But again, we'll see what it clears. Doesn't look like it looks like New Pal's playing for some kind of fake here. They don't have anybody back to receive the punt.
Ashton Vogel is the punter as well as the place kicker, and he cuts a beautiful one together. And the Hawks are going to let this one take a bounce of their own down to the 15-yard line. So an excellent punt there by Ashton Vogel. Looked like that was about a net 70-yard punt or so out for the bounce.
Sure flipped the field, didn't it?
Indeed it did.
And so from that standpoint, it's good for the defense for Decatur Central if they can take advantage of it. But again, the defense saw something that they didn't like in terms of the punt return team, and they made some adjustments there and anticipating a fake. And obviously they didn't, and didn't have anybody back to receive the punt.
As you see, it's toga night tonight here at New Palestine High School. An excellent crowd on hand, as you always expect here, brought on by just the culture that has been cultivated by Coach Kyle Ralph. Here's Tippett in trouble and has to get rid of it, and it's thrown out of bounds to bring up 2nd down.
Good coverage by the Decatur Central defense there. Tried to roll to a 3-receiver pattern here into the flat with a curl route and a flat route and a streak, and Decatur did a nice job of settling underneath on zones and then putting pressure on the quarterback there.
You had Dwayne Alexander as well as Presley Newkirk and Braden Coffey in on the coverage. Second down, run call to Thomas. And this time Decatur Central's ready for it, only giving up a handful of yards, and Thomas loses his helmet. So he'll have to come out for a play here per IHSAA rules. And it'll bring up 3rd down and maybe about 8 yards.
A little counter play with the tackle pulling and knocking out the defensive end. Good block by number 70, Ian Moore. Big fella, 6'6", 290 junior, being recruited by multiple Division I schools, and again, got a bright future ahead of him.
So you're going to have Kyler Kropp move in here at the H-back position in the absence of Thomas. 3rd down throw. And here's a screen pass outside to Ty Mitchell, and he comes up short of the 1st down marker by a few yards. You're going to be about maybe 4th down and maybe a yard and a half here, Coach.
Good play. I think that was Russell Peterson. He's their star corner, a 6'2", 175 kid. Made a nice play there. He was a rolled-up corner. They didn't have the number 2 receiver covered, and the quarterback smartly delivered the ball to him, but Peterson came from the outside and made a saving tackle, so to speak, to get him the 4th down in punt formation.
So you're going to have a rare punt here, and this time it's going to be Daniel Tippett doing the honors.
He was the kid last week that faked the punt and for a touchdown.
And a nice rugby-style kick, but it takes a Decatur Central bounce right into the hands of Grayson Thomas on the coverage. And so you have Decatur Central flipping the field on special teams. Now they get even more really good field position right at midfield.
Yeah, as you say, that not having the punt returner back there and letting the ball roll, and then the defense coming in and doing a 3-and-out, it really lend to the field position for Decatur Central's offense. They got to do something with the football here to keep, they can't be on defense the whole night, that's for sure.
So here's a big opportunity for Decatur Central. They went 3-and-out last time. Polston with 3 wide receivers on the far side. And the play action, looking over the middle, nothing doing there as they were trying to get it to Pharrell Carter. And he was brought down quite awkwardly, but he gets up okay. 2nd down and 10 here for the Hawks.
Yeah, they ran a little RPO, a little fake into the line of scrimmage with the zone play, and then trying to hit the number 2 receiver up the chute. Good credit to New Pal's defense of hanging in there, doing their responsibility in the back end, which is pass first, and stopping the play, getting it to 2nd and long.
Polston has yet to complete a pass tonight. Again, 5 of 10 a week ago. New Pal showing blitz. Here it comes. And there's Polston on the quarterback keeper, and he splits the defenders ahead for a gain of a solid 6 yards.
Run a little read option there. Not really read option, but a little read on the quarterback's part. They're reading the defensive end and taking what they give them. Obviously, they expanded it with the running back one running wide, and then the quarterback hitting it up in there. Nice play. Gained 7-8 yards there.
That's 6'2", 185 pounds of freshman. Polston already showing some athletic prowess to build on here over his next 4 years. Polston with some time goes to the left side. A nice grab in the air for Decatur Central. And on the reception, Braden LaFollette.
Yeah, he made a heck of a catch. As you said, that ball was a little high, and he was well covered, actually. And I tell you what, the freshman's pretty good. He zipped that thing in there. And,
he put that in there for the receiver to get.
He did, and he had a great throw and catch there. So, again, he's settling down and making some plays.
First down of the ball game here for the Hawks as they work in plus territory. In the gun, Polston gets a block from his running back over the middle in stride. Nice grab by LaFollette again inside the 5. And a big first down for Decatur Central.
Decatur's running a lot of 10 personnel, which is 1 back and no tight ends, and running 4 wide receivers there, trying to spread out the big guys up New Pal, and really ran 3 verticals, I believe, on that one and just split the safety.
So in the red zone here for the first time are the Hawks. About 8 yards to go, first down and goal. And now you have Asen Stevens lining up in a Wildcat. He's also the backup quarterback. And now we have a whistle, and it looks like a false start here on Decatur Central.
They bring in Asen Stevens in short yardage situations, being 6'4", 230. As we pointed out before, he's a Virginia Tech commit on defense. But he's showing his athletic ability. He is a good-looking guy here in terms of being an athlete and on the field here.
So Stevens lining up in the pistol. Puts his H back up. Stevens on the keeper. Follows a blocker. Gets back inside the 10, down to the 5 before he's corralled by a handful of New Palestine Dragons. Blaine Nunnally in on the coverage there. Oh, but we get a holding penalty here on Decatur Central. So back-to-back flags really hampering the Hawks' drive here as they are in really good position.
Yeah, they ran the quarterback counter similar to the play New Pal ran, and I'm not sure who they got for the hold, but I think it was one of the linemen that was pulling. And, again, that's unfortunate because they were down where on the 6-yard line and had 1st and goal, and now they're back on the 22. Although it's still 1st down, they're going the wrong way here.
So it's 1st down and goal here, but at 1st down and 22 yards de facto.
They got to take advantage of this field position because it's, against this defense, it's going to be tough to do this consistently.
You have Stevens still in at quarterback, in the pistol this time. Stevens is going to drop back to pass for the first time, off balance, up and intercepted. On the interception there is A.J. Ryerson. So back-to-back penalties. New Palestine takes advantage of the missed opportunities by the Hawks, and it results in a turnover.
Kind of a trick play there. They rolled to the right and snuck the back out weak. Well defended. They've been coached up on that play. You could tell that. That linebacker hung with that back coming out down the sideline and made a pick. It was probably a bad decision by Stevens to throw the thing to start with. He was well covered. So
a missed opportunity here by Decatur Central. And now New Palestine going to try and take advantage as they still have the 7-0 advantage late here in the first. Here's Thomas. Starts to up the middle, cuts to the right, and that's good for a 1st down out to the 35.
Looked like the same cut on the touchdown run. And again, well defense and the safety trying to get a number there. It's got to come up and make that play. That's Presley Newkirk, 5'11", 170-pound junior. He's got to come up and make that play. He's in good position. He just got to keep running through the tackle instead of just, trying to watch him and make a great play.
Tippett with the handoff to Thomas again. He stumbles forward for a gain of a couple yards. Grayson Thomas called his O-line one of the best front fives in the state, in his opinion. Anchored by, of course, Ian Moore and Luke Burgess. Burgess going to be committed to Louisville to play next year. He also had offers from North Carolina, Florida State, Boston College, basically all over the ACC. And he chose Louisville. So here's Tippett feeling the pressure and has to get rid of it. And that's certainly an unpleasant feeling when you have a guy like Alec Lawson bearing down on you if you're Tippett.
He's an active player, Lawson is. He's playing both ways, playing a little tight end there on offense and H-back. He's a good-looking guy here and obviously been a factor in this football game a couple times, putting pressure or heat on the quarterback.
And you mentioned that he also has some D2 offers coming his way. Tippett back in the gun. 3rd down and 8. Tippett looking for a receiver over the middle, has his man wide open on the catch, Kyler Croppo, but he gets tripped up right there. And it looks like we may have a flag back in the backfield. And it's going to be roughing the quarterback, so it's going to be another 15 yards.
Yeah, they had him covered, and the safety just stopped.
He just tripped.
Running with him, and then the receiver made a nice catch. It was a great throw, and the old turf monster got him.
But still an excellent gain, the longest throw of the season now by Tippett. He previously had a long pass of about 44 yards. That went for a solid 50. And this is going to be a 1st down and some change for the Dragons.
Next thing is they only rushed 3 there, and he had all day to throw the football. And like I say, they had it covered and just didn't stay with it all the way. And the safety, for some reason, stopped doing his job.
Looked like that might have been M.J. Campbell in there, the guilty party on the roughing the passer. And so they walk off the penalty yardage as well. So when all is said and done, New Pal was at about the 35-yard line. They are now inside of the 15-yard line on the Decatur side of the football field. Talk about flipping the field.
Oh, man. No doubt about that. And, again, it's just hard to keep up with the penalty on top of a big play, especially a 15-yarder.
So here's Tippett. First down and 10, ball at the 12. And the disguised give to Thomas, and Thomas keeps his feet underneath him and doesn't go down before the play is blown dead. And you can see a little bit of frustration early on here from Decatur Central as they give up a couple yards.
Alec Lawson made a nice play against Moore on the pull. That's a play they ran earlier and gained some yards, and this time I think Lawson won that battle against the Ian Moore on the tackle pull going to the weak side. Really the strong side because of the tight end there.
Clock still moving here late in the first quarter. New Pal scored on their opening drive. They haven't been able to get in the end zone since, but they're threatening here. Tippett on the outside here has his man Thacker. Thacker sheds a tackle and walks into the end zone for another New Pal touchdown.
Good play on the rocket screen and, bringing the funnel screen, taking the number one receiver, bringing him down under and blocking out on the corner. Again, they had it pretty well defensed. The kid made a nice play to avoid the block and just missed tackles. So missed tackles are hurting the defense for Decatur Central for sure.
There's Daniel Tippett's first touchdown pass of the night, his second of the season. That is also Thacker's second of the season as well, and the subsequent PAT is good by Brendan Tanksley. You just love the crispness of that execution of that play right there on the score.
Yeah, without a doubt. Guys were the quarterback did a nice job getting it out to the receiver. Receiver did a nice job of coming in to catch the football while the number 2 receiver kicked out on the corner. And again, like I say, the corner made a nice play to avoid the block and just missed the tackle again. And I'll tell you, and I've said this twice now, as being an old defensive coach, missed tackles will kill you. And again, early in the season is when you have the most of them. So they'll get better as the game goes on. But again, Decatur Central's safeties and corners got to make some tackles here.
And you see all of the shots of the crowd here tonight. It is always an event, a New Palestine home football game here in the south of Hancock County, indicative of just the culture that head coach Kyle Ralph has really built around this squad over his last 10 seasons.
Now you're looking at the end zone crowd. It's packed, and our sideline's packed, and again, a lot of tailgating going on, a lot of people having fun, and Friday night, and here we go.
Even a well-traveled crowd all the way from Decatur Central on the southwest side of Indianapolis.
Yeah, they got quite a few people over there. Again, just a great atmosphere for these kids to partake in a great night of football.
So here's Tanksley to put the boot into it. And this time we get our first look at Casey Berry. And on the return, Berry brings it back out to about the 30-yard line.
Good coverage by the special team. Again, good kick. Tanksley's kicking the ball well tonight, and again, good kick coverage, holding an explosive Decatur Central team. Those kids, they got some kids that can run now, and so here we go, 1st and 10.
So here you have Polston back in at quarterback. After a few snaps were taken by Asen Stevens in the red zone. Polston over the middle, has a man in stride, and a good first down there out to Farrell Carter. Out to the 50. First down here for the Hawks, and that's something you want right there after a turnover on your previous drive, Coach.
Nice play by the Q. Defensively, they brought a corner blitz from the short side, and looked like they had a little zone fire from the short side, bringing the corner. Quarterback read it and hit the receiver going up the sideline there.
So a solid gain of about 25 yards. Puts the ball at the 49. Carter back in motion. Here's the snap. Give is to Berry. He tries to turn the corner on the right side. Goes nowhere with it, maybe gaining a yard out to the 50. And you have Casey Berry going to be sharing the load here with Jordan Cox. Both of them had significant carries a week ago against Columbus North. Barry had 66 yards rushing, but also had an 86-yard touchdown catch from Beau Polston.
Talking to Coach Enright, he wants to run the ball, and he knows he's got to run the ball some to keep his defense off the field here tonight and be able to control the line of scrimmage.
Polston back to pass, has some time, looks to his left, has Carter again. He tries to avoid the rush, flag on the play, and we'll see. It might be pass interference. We'll see. It looks like it's going to be against Desmond Coleman of Decatur Central, and you can see the Hawks walking it back here.
They're hurting themselves with penalties, that's for sure, and Coach Enright's got to be able to have a little talk with these young men when he gets a chance and settle them down, and they're just killing themselves with penalties.
So that's now 4 penalties here on Decatur Central. And so there it is. It's going to actually an illegal block in the back on Coleman, because I couldn't quite tell if the penalty came before or after the ball was caught. Either way, a no-no there from Desmond Coleman, and that will back them up 10 yards.
Yeah, you really didn't need to block him either, I don't think. And the receiver made a nice cut to get to the middle of the field, and Coleman made the mistake of hitting the defender in the back. It was definitely a hit in the back. So how about this freshman hanging in there and throwing this ball all over the lot?
Polston has had a solid night throwing the ball, approaching 100 yards already. Polston standing up. Nearly gets it on the fingertips of Coleman, but he slips and falls incomplete. Certainly the right idea, though, if you're the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, as soon as I went and talked to him about him, he had him open. He should have hit that one, but again, that was a tough throw. That's from the hash down to the sideline and had 14 yards. And again, good play, kind of come back and make the next one.
But of course, as a freshman, precision passing is something that comes with time.
Without a doubt. And but he's handling the offense. He's calling plays. He doesn't look like he gets rattled, and he's a good physical-looking kid.
Barry back in the backfield here with Polston. Here's the snap. Polston gets collapsed on, and there you have Michael Thacker getting his second sack of the night, along with a little bit of help, it looks like, from John Raines, the other defensive end.
Yeah, it was a 3rd and long, and anytime you're 3rd and long, you try to roll out and try to make a big play to get a first down, and it just wasn't in the cards there for the Decatur Central offense.
So 4th down and long here, and another punting situation for the Decatur Central Hawks. And if you're Coach Enright, you know you got to preach to your team here late in the first quarter. You don't want this thing to get out of hand early, especially to a team like New Pal.
Without a doubt. And, again, throwing that pick down there and the penalties down when they had a chance to get a score really hurt their offense. So.
And now we have a whistle before the snap on the punt here. And the clock ran out, so it's going to be a delay of game. So another 5 yards on top of it.
Another penalty. Another penalty. How many is that for the first half?
That is now 5 penalties on Decatur Central in the first half.
That's not the way you win football games, especially against a good football team. You need to stop hurting yourselves.
And now nearly blocked is that punt there by Vogel. Nowhere near the distance as he got last time, but still takes a little bit of a Decatur Central bounce back into negative territory for New Palestine. They'll place the ball right at about the 45, 43-yard line, somewhere in there. But, man, Vogel was certainly feeling the heat on that one.
Good rush, as you pointed out, Kurt. Good rush by the Dragons. They did have a guy back, but, again, they did a nice job of putting pressure on and causing the bad punt. And the result, great field position. So.
Coach Kyle Ralph has been very complimentary of special teams coordinator Wes Anderson here for New Palestine. And certainly a well-coached set right there to give New Pal a little bit of breathing room on offense. Tippett sends his man in motion again. This time going for a halfback, almost a halfback pass right there. Instead, on the keeper is going to be Blaine Nunnally, and he makes something out of nothing right there, getting back into plus territory. Ball at the 48.
Yeah, credit to the defensive backs for Decatur staying with those receivers, because it sure did look like the Z sweeps that they've been running with the receivers, the flanker sweeps. But again, nice job of staying at home, and obviously didn't have anywhere to throw it. Smart play by that young man of just tucking it and getting what he can.
Tippett back in the gun as time starts to wind down here in the first quarter, and he's going nowhere with that. That will go down as a tackle for loss. Give the credit to Alberto Morello.
Nice play by the Decatur Central defense. They read that little read play very well and didn't go for the tailback at all, stayed on the quarterback and made the stop. Big third down here. If they can get a stop, get the ball back and get some offense rolling here, it'd be very helpful to their morale in one thing, and two, for the defense to get off the field. Looks like they're going to take it down to the end of the quarter.
Indeed they do. Clock hits zeros for the end of quarter number one. 14-0 here. New Pal on top of Decatur Central. We'll take a quick timeout. Back in a moment on 9 Star TV.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Second quarter getting underway here on 9 Star TV alongside Bob Bartolomeo. I'm Kurt Darling, coach. Pretty good first half here if you're a new Palestine Dragon fan, but, you know, Decatur Central, they showed signs of life, just penalties, been kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Like you said, Kurt, penalties will stop an offense and also help the opposing offense to continue drives. So they got to stop beating themselves. That's the first thing that I see in this football game. They're matching up fairly well with them. I thought that, they're handling the front pretty well and hanging in there. The big third down here. It'll be interesting to see what New Pal does in terms of third and short.
So we flip directions on the field here, and right out of the gate, another penalty, and it's going to be against Decatur Central as the line judge seems to be appearing to be pointing. We'll see what the official call is here. It did not look like anybody jumped, and indeed it is. It's going to be an encroachment on Decatur Central.
Offside penalty, gave him a first down. It's, they keep hurting themselves, that's for sure.
So that moves the ball. That'll move it up now to the 44-yard line. Tippett gives the ball off to Thomas, right up the middle, untouched. Touchdown number 2 for Grayson Thomas. A 43-yard scamper for the touchdown, his second of the night.
It looked like just a zone play by the New Pal Dragons. Interesting that Thomas, he's the long snapper or short snapper also. Pretty athletic kid. But here's a look at it, just running an inside zone and got behind those big guys up front, and the rest is history.
And so the extra point is good.
It was blocked.
Or it was blocked, actually. Couldn't quite. I was looking down there momentarily. So it was blocked, so it stays 20-0. But needless to say, the extra point, not much of a factor at the moment, as Decatur Central really has their work cut out for them to try and cut back into this big lead of New Pal.
Yeah, I didn't catch what happened on the extra point either. I kind of missed it, but here's a good look at the touchdown. Great inside zone blocking, kind of muscling their way. The big guys up front, the center, Keel, Wood, Purcell, those guys clearing the way for Grayson Thomas to hit it and get it, and the rest is history. He's got some jets once he gets into that open field.
So Thomas with 2 touchdowns tonight, along with Isaiah Thacker on the connection from Tippett, getting a touchdown as well. So now if you're the Decatur Central Hawks, I mean, if you're head coach Kyle Enright, what do you tell your team in this situation? Because they've been competitive, but they've just really let New Pal just do what they do best, and that's run the ball.
Yeah, the first thing is they got to quit beating themselves with penalties and giving the opposing team, New Pal, some opportunities, and yet at the same time hindering themselves. So that's the first and foremost. And then the next thing is they got to control the line of scrimmage a little bit better. You know, they were doing a great job there, and then all of a sudden New Pal went back to just a straight zone play and split them, and I'm not sure where the back end was on that play.
So here is Brendan Tanksley, who has done an excellent job kicking the ball this evening for the Dragons. Nice end-over-end kick. And a nice return here for Decatur Central, as you had Travion Callahan on the duties for that one. So ball's going to be placed at the 34-yard line. Now the Hawks really got to get something going here as we are just inside of the opening minutes of this second quarter.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, you don't have to wholesale sell out here. You got to stay within your offensive game plan. It's too early in the game, but at some point you got to keep getting some first downs. One, to keep your defense off the field, and two, create some momentum offensively.
So here's Polston back in at quarterback. He sends Rennick in motion. The snap, Polston has time, has a man one-on-one, and some good play right there by the defense, and they're going to call a pass interference. And now you have Pharrell Carter struggling to get up here. And they may be calling offensive pass interference. We'll see what they call here. I don't know. That looks ticky-tack to me there, Coach.
I think the defender, number 8 there, got his hand on him and prevented him from running past him. Looks like the kid had a step on the defender. And, again, tough call. Could have gone either way. But, again, you know how it works. 9 out of 10 times you're going to get a defensive pass interference versus that offensive.
So Bryant Nunnally, the guilty party there on the coverage. And so that'll be 15 yards from the previous spot. And
looks like Carter's going to be okay. He's just maybe got a little ankle rolled up. And, again,
he's going to have a little bit of help from the athletic training staff here of Decatur Central.
He can run a little bit. He he was on a dead sprint, and how about that freshman laying it out right there?
That was an excellent throw by Polston. As they say, throwing it right in the pickle barrel.
Yeah, exactly. He's been nothing but impressive to me as a true freshman here in this football game, even though they're down, 20-0 here. He's done some nice things, keep him alive, and both running and passing. So if they can give him some time, he can maybe make some big plays and get him back in this football game.
These are two head coaches that have never had a losing season in their tenure as head coaches. Kyle Enright in his 7th year at Decatur Central. Kyle Ralph in his 10th year at New Pal. Only 25 losses between those 17 years combined in coaching.
It's a lot of wins. A lot of wins.
So off the injury timeout, we get rolling again off of the penalty as well. First down and 10 at the 49 for the Hawks. Here's the give up the middle to Cox, it appears. And he powers forward into plus territory down to the 46.
Looked like a good old-fashioned power play up front. Pulled the backside. Both the H-back and the guard up through the hole. And nice run, good blocking. Good first down play. Got him 2nd and 5, and so, being able to take advantage of this now.
And certainly plays like that, Coach, that gets you in a rhythm when you really need to.
No doubt about it.
Interesting formation here. Polston hands it off to Cox. Oh, and he is smothered in the backfield immediately. What a play by Michael Thacker. And a tackle for loss.
It's been a factor in this football game. He, he's only a sophomore. He's 6'1", he's 268. I think last year when we had him, he was about 225. He's put on some weight. Again, tribute to Coach Ralph's weight program and the type of program that he has year-round. His kids get in there and lift and get bigger, stronger, and faster.
And so now you see Thacker lining up on the opposite side, bringing up 3rd down and 7 for the Hawks. Play action. Polston lobs it over the middle and tries to get it through in double coverage, and it falls incomplete. Looks like that was Callahan on the as the intended receiver.
It looks like Decatur may go for it here.
And at this point, Coach, why not? You're in plus territory. You got to do something to kind of break the offensive stalemate that they've certainly been trying to get out of.
Yeah.
So Polston will remain at quarterback, 4th down and a hefty 6 yards. Polston takes the snap, rolls to his left, has a receiver, 1st down and more here for Coleman. And a nice gain and a nice play call as well by Coach Enright to have faith in his offense to get the job done.
And I don't know if you noticed that, but he rolled to his left and threw an out. Now that is tough for a right-handed quarterback, especially a freshman. But what a play, what an athletic play by the quarterback. The receiver did a nice job of getting open, but the Q made a nice job of avoiding the rush, planting his feet, and whipping it out there for a 1st down.
So Polston back in the gun again here. And the Hawks are moving. And a flag beforehand and a timely penalty will back up the Hawks again here. It's going to be a false start. And again, Coach, just keeping with the theme of the night here for the Hawks. They get some momentum, and then they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, these penalties are going to kill them, and I'm sure Coach Enright's not going to be real happy. And, again, new pals substituting a lot of D linemen. They're playing a lot of kids here on this warm evening, and that'll come to pay off in the second half, I'm sure. But, yeah, you're right, Kurt. The penalties, they get going, and then it's a setback. So got to play some disciplined football, fellas.
Ball sitting just ahead of the 45. High snap. Polston will go on the keeper. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard on the play.
Good job by the D, stuffing it up in there and not giving an inch on that play and that quarterback run. Get them to 2nd and long.
And again, you had Michael Thacker in on the tackle.
Seems to be everywhere, doesn't he?
Indeed, he does. You got Brock Brownfield getting some reps in here at defensive end here as John Raines is getting a much-deserved break on the sideline.
Kyle said they're going to play a bunch of kids there up front, so true to his word here.
Polston with some pressure goes a little high for his receiver there, incomplete.
Good. They brought the outside backer there and got around the blocker, and so it was a straight shot to the Q. Looks like number 20 there, 24 maybe, Hyatt came around, or was it? Not sure.
Mason Hyatt, the 6-foot junior, 5 tackles last week against Westfield.
It was either him or Hook. I'm not sure. 20 or 22 or 24.
3rd down and long here for the Hawks. Polston has some time, lobs it over the middle, looking for his tight end there, Lawson, and throws it just behind him, incomplete. And again, Coach, your 4th down and long here. What do you do?
Well, you're a little better field position than you were the last one by about 3 yards, so I think you got to try it again and give it a go. But another trick play. They rolled right with the throwback and a great defensive play, staying at home, staying with your man, and hugging Lawson up on the route there.
So this is not Polston in at quarterback right now. This is actually the punter a pooch punt to kind of give themselves some good field position. Well played there on the special teams as they get it inside of the 5. Rather inside of the 10. Nicely done there. Looks like that might have been either Vogel or maybe Elijah Trammell in on there on the punt. Either way, well-designed special teams play.
Yeah, they got them down there in the inside backed up. They got to get out 3 and out here. Now would be helpful. Get a good field position and get a score here before the half. That's for sure.
And so that's the longest time that New Pal has actually spent on the sidelines offensively, as it had been all Decatur Central through the first 4 minutes and some change of this second quarter. Daniel Tippett with 2 backs in the backfield with him. Tippett fumbles the snap, picks it up, rolls to his right, tries to find a receiver, and goes through the hands of Isaiah Thacker, incomplete.
Really nice play by the quarterback after a bad start to the play, picking up the football and rolling out and getting a good throw there to the receiver. He had a shot to make this play.
And so New Pal still backed up inside of their own territory big time. And now we see Micah Clark come in at the slot. Tippett back in the gun, 2nd down and 10. Low snap here for Tippett, feeling the pressure, has to get rid of it. Nice find to his receiver, and a big first down for New Pal. That's Blaine Nunnally, his first catch of the night. What a play there by Tippett to find his man under pressure.
Great play by the quarterback. They sent the linebacker, and the guard missed him, and got pressure on the cue, rolled a little bit to the outside, and found the open man for a first down. Nice play by Tippett.
Ball at the 29, first down. Tippett hands it off to Thomas. Has some running room. There's going to be a face mask call on Alec Lawson, so you're going to add an extra 15 yards. And that was pretty cut and dry right there, Coach. Another flag on Decatur Central. Their 7th of the half. That is not good.
No, not at all. And I don't think that was intentional. I think a kid was just trying to make a tackle here on a fast back, and he got a little bit outran, and he tried to reach, and he inadvertently, he did leave go with a face mask, which was good to see. So that tells you really kind of an inadvertent thing, but it is 15 yards and gets him out of the hole again. So
more free yardage here for New Pal, though.
Exactly.
So that puts New Pal back in plus territory. Ball at the 49 of the Hawks. Still plenty of time here for New Pal. Tippett gives it off to Grayson Thomas, and he is met right in the backfield there. A nicely executed tackle by Cameron Rennick.
Nice play by Rennick, 6 foot 225 senior. Met him head on in the hole and kind of drove him back. So, again, a TFL for a couple of yards. Got him 2nd and long. Got to hang in there now.
Cameron Rennick is getting the start tonight at linebacker for the injured Halbert Aguirre. Tippett, play action, over the middle, wide open, nice catch there by Eli Hook, and he goes unmolested into the end zone for another New Pal touchdown.
Nice play by the quarterback on the RPO, and great play action fake. Defense bit. I didn't see what the safety did that was covering Hook, but I know one thing he didn't do is cover him, but he went up to shoot there and made a nice play. So the safety bit on the run is what he did. And, again, when that happens, bad things occur, and here they go for 2 points here.
So they're going to try and make up for the missed extra point on the previous possession. So Tippett with wide receivers on each side here on the two-point conversion. Tippett hands it off to his running back. And unmolested again, Isaiah Thacker coming from the wide receiver spot, getting the two-point conversion.
That was a very athletic play by that kid. I'll tell you, that he showed speed, he showed athleticism, and again, outran everybody and then jumped over at the end. Very nice play, and got to credit the guys up front too. They're giving them some, good blocking and that type of thing. There's the touchdown where the safety, he went up to make a play on the run, and that was an easy throw and catch, really.
Another well-delivered ball there by Tippett.
Right. Having a great game.
His second touchdown pass of the night. He is well over 200 yards, or rather over 150 yards passing at least. Don't have official stats in front of us right now, but 2 touchdowns, both of them well over 50 yards passing right there for each of them. Needless to say, that's a good night passing for the senior.
Who came into the game really not known to throwing the ball, and but he's done a good job tonight. And obviously that Kyle saw something throughout the week, Coach Ralph there, and they're doing a good job with their play action. They're running RPOs and getting the safeties to bite on them, and quarterbacks making them pay, that's for sure. And they got good receivers. They got a good football team, and Decatur's doing all right. They're just killing themselves with penalties, and they got to get some momentum going with a quick strike here before the half.
You would really think that Decatur would be much more in this game had they not been committing so many penalties.
I agree totally, and they're just killing themselves. But again, it's some young guys on the football field for them. Whereas New Pal's got a bunch of seniors playing for them and upperclassmen.
It's been a busy night here for Brendan Tanksley. He's already had to kick a couple PATs and also kick off as well. 28-0 here. Another good kick here from Tanksley. It's going to be taken now by Callahan. And some good special teams coverage as we have another flag on the play. And we may or may not be getting a block in the back or a hold of some kind here on Decatur Central. So we await the ruling from the official here. The ball is officially spotted at the 11-yard line. And the official's still trying to figure it out here. So now the ball's at the 16-yard line, and it is indeed a hold on Decatur Central. So after some long debate right there, another penalty on Decatur Central, their 8th of the half, Coach. So that'll back them up another 10 yards from where the ball was spotted. And so now they are inside their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, they're on about the 7 here. I think they go half the distance when it's that time. But you're right, Kurt. They're just killing themselves with penalties.
So here's Polston again, going to have to operate from just inside of his 5-yard line. And he is alone in the backfield. Polston. Back to pass, looks to his left, one-on-one coverage, trying to find his receiver. What a catch! Oh, my goodness. K.C. Berry, the backup running back, out there getting an excellent catch there for the Hawks. And just like that, Decatur Central's back in business.
He had a catch for an 85-yarder last week, so he's had some nice big plays for him. And great throw by that freshman Q.
And he was tripping over himself in the act of making that catch, and Daniel Thacker in there on the coverage for New Pal.
Very athletic play.
So some signs of life here from it. Decatur Central, ball at the 39. Thacker. And his receiver immediately walloped by Blaine Nunnally there. Coleman, the intended receiver, as he was going for just kind of a short slant up the middle there. And it falls incomplete.
Good hit by the safety. It's a good clean hit. I think it was a shoulder pad hit, and did a nice job of lowering the pad and causing an incompletion there.
Of course,
separating the receiver from the football.
And that's been one thing that has been really stressed, not just by the IHSAA, but the game of football in general. No leading with your helmet, lead with that shoulder. That's exactly what we saw with Nunnally.
Smart play. Well coached.
So a whistle on the field now. Looks like a timeout going to be taken by Decatur Central, and probably a much-needed timeout right here to try and get their bearings about them here after that big play to Casey Berry to at least get the drive moving for Decatur Central after they were in a very precarious position to start that one out.
Yeah, they didn't help themselves on the kickoff return, that's for sure. One, it was a good coverage, and two, they had a penalty, and so the return wasn't great, and on top of that, they had a penalty. So that big play really got them out of the hole there and gave them a chance here to get a score before the first half.
So Beau Polston, the freshman for Decatur Central, only completed 5 passes for 144 yards last week. That's about a 29-yard per catch average for the quarterback right there, to say the least, to his wide receivers. He's getting a little bit more reps throwing the ball this time. He only threw 10 passes all game last week against Columbus North.
I think it's a clear case where Coach Enright feels he cannot run the ball on this stout New Pal defense, and the only way to move it is with their athletes on the outside and with the freshman Q. There's an empty set, motion back.
Here's the play action over the middle, trying to find Berry again. This time, Thacker is there to break it up, and Berry hits the ground hard, but he's able to get up, and he appears to be okay. But just a little bit underthrown there from the freshman, a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts on that play. They came with the empty set, no backs in the backfield, brought the receiver back, faked the Z sweep, and then threw the streak route to Berry.
And taking a look at the replay, it looked like it was just right on target, maybe a little bit too long for him. So here's 3rd down and 10. Polston on the fake, Polston on the keeper, 1st down yardage, and then barrels his way out of bounds on his own sideline. Heads up play there by the freshman to just tuck it and run it and get the 1st down and keep this drive alive. Six minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in this second quarter. And we have another penalty marker on the field.
I didn't see that one. No.
Maybe a late hit. It's on the far sideline. Certainly could be a late hit. The ball is right at the 1st down marker on the far side of the football field where the officials are standing right now, as you can see.
As you said, Kurt, looks like it's against New Pal. Again, this crew moves pretty methodically. They're not in a hurry.
And so it is a personal foul, which we can assume to be a late hit. Out of bounds there by New Pal, so that's going to be an extra 15 yards from the end of the run. And there you see it right there. Thacker just maybe coming in a little too hot there at the end. And so some extra yardage here for Decatur Central that helps them out. And the give is up the middle on a run play here to Cox. And going nowhere on that. In fact, he probably lost a yard.
Yeah, the inside of that New Pal defense is pretty stout there in terms of stopping a run. They haven't given up a bunch of yards there inside. And, they're going to have to throw it and put their athletes in position to make plays on the outside to get back into this football game.
Ian Raudebush getting the tackle there. That's not a name that we have said a whole lot tonight, surprisingly.
Playing on the perimeter, trying to get the ball in their athletes' hands.
Here's Polston trying to get it to his receiver, LaFollette. And another flag on the play. They may get New Pal for pass interference here because LaFollette was struggling to kind of go up for the ball right there. And taking a look at it again, maybe just a little bit handsy there by Blaine Nunnally.
I think it was kind of an inadvertent their feet kind of got tangled up there between the DB and the receiver, and the referees thought it was an impediment for the receiver to catch the ball and called the interference.
Well, and just like that, Coach, 2 new PAL penalties have actually helped Decatur Central here get the ball down the field.
Yeah, I hope the refs aren't trying to make up. I mean, it looks like they're trying to, justify how many penalties they've called in Decatur, but they're doing a great job as always.
Polston, play action, and just overthrows his running back, Cameron Rennick, who was there but would have been obliterated by Blaine Nunnally had he caught that ball.
Ran a little bootleg out here, faked the run to the near side and came back out here with a naked boot for the cue and snuck the fullback out in the flat. And well covered by the, New Pal defense.
2nd down and 10 here for the Hawks. Extra backs in the backfield here for Polston. Polston runs into his own running back and keeps it himself and gets tackled forward for maybe a gain of a couple yards on the play. You could tell Polston was a little bit eager there to get that one there as he had the keeper on the fake handoff to Cox.
Without a doubt, trying to hit it up in there between the tackles and not a lot of room, and there hadn't been all game. So, again, like I said, I think that offensively they're going to have to get the ball on the perimeter to their athletes and try to make some big plays with their receivers.
Call it 3rd down and 6. Polston with time. A dart into the ground right in front of his receiver, Coleman. And you can see the frustration in Coleman right there. He knew he was open, but the freshman QB just kind of letting that one get away from him.
Well, I think what happened is the tight end released in the flat and brought another defender with him, which got in front of the throw. The stop route by the wideout was open. I think there's a little confusion on the route. 4th down. Big down here.
So a big 4th down and 6. Polston trying to tip it up inside to Coleman again, and this time it falls incomplete. So a promising drive with a little bit of help from some new PAL penalties stalls out here for Decatur Central late in this 2nd quarter, and that's a crushing run right there if you're head coach Kyle Enright.
Not only for Enright, but also for the offense. I mean, they had a nice drive going, and this is where they got to settle in now and finish this half defensively. There's still a lot of time left, so they cannot get their damper down and get their chin in their chest. They got to fight through it, tough it out mentally, and don't let New Pal get another score on them.
4.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. And just a reminder for folks here, even though we haven't even been thinking about this game possibly going to a running clock, 35 points is the threshold, but that's not enforced until the 2nd half. As you see Thomas with a short little gainer up the gut.
Yeah, like I said, New Pal's got Decatur Central's got to, bear up here a little bit and get their D going and make sure that they get out of here 3 and out, so that they can get the ball back and try to make some hay here as we start the finish the first half.
Sun finally starting to set here over southern Hancock County. Much to the relief of us here, Coach, because we've been staring into the sun here for the better part of the last hour and 15 minutes.
It's been a challenge, I'll say that much.
Here's Tippett with a lot of time, but now the pocket collapsing. Nice vision over the middle to find his receiver. That's Thomas. And Thomas wanted a penalty there for a little extracurricular activity, but didn't quite see what that would have been for. Either way, it's a 1st down here for Grayson Thomas.
Nice play by Tippett, staying alive in the pocket. They had him covered initially, and then all of a sudden he scrambled a little bit, bought some time, and then found Grayson Thomas open for a completion and a 1st down.
New Pal driving once again. Their offense has been pretty crisp this evening. And a flag on the play. The play clock was winding down. We might get delay of game here on New Pal, and indeed that is the call.
Yeah, that was doomed from the start. I'm not quite sure, what their mode of thinking is here, whether they're just trying to kill the clock out, run the clock out, or, try and score. I believe it looks like they're trying to run the clock out, and again, we'll see what happens here as they progress. But it's 1st and 15, and you never want to get another penalty before the half.
Decatur Central will start the second half with the football. Play action, out to Nunnally. And Nunnally gets tackled inbounds. And they'll keep winding the clock here as it is about 2nd down and 4.
Nice throw and catch there. Good job. I'll tell you, Tippett's holding his own here too. Also, and again, finding the open receiver. He's getting a little more time than he did early, and doing a great job of finding the open receiver.
Tippett, a senior transfer from Warren Central, hands it off to Grayson Thomas, and again, Grayson Thomas going to go all the way to the end zone, but Coach, we have a penalty marker right at the 50-yard line, and it looks like it's going to be a holding call on New Pal.
Yeah, looks like Hook grabbed the safety just a little bit too much. He did a nice block, and then he just should have let him go because Grayson was by him, but he held on a little bit too much, and it's a good call.
A little too nice of a block.
Yeah, it's a good call. Good job by the officials here of making that call, and it was right in front of them, and right in front of the New Pal bench, which is never easy. But, again, it was the right call. But, again, they split them. They split them, on the run play, and Grayson is, once he's in the open, he can really motor.
Grayson Thomas came into this contest with 1,288 yards career rushing. Needless to say, regardless of that run being wiped off the board, he is going to significantly add to that total here tonight. So 2nd down and 3. Great jump by the defensive line of Decatur Central. The handoff this time is to Kropp, and he goes nowhere with that, maybe a gain of a yard. You saw an excellent jump there by Trey Hall. That was awfully close to being an offsides.
But it wasn't. They didn't call it, so evidently he got it. He got the benefit of the doubt there, I thought. But, again, he was in the neutral zone, that's for sure, and that's a penalty. But good job. Play the decks down.
Clock ticking inside of 2 minutes here, and the hard count finally catches Decatur Central, and that is a free 1st down off of the penalty yardage there for New Pal.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you there.
And that's a tough one to swallow right there, Coach.
That is. Now they're in great field position, and if they wanted to press the issue here with 1:48 to go, they can make some, they have their choice of what they want to do, whether they want to run the ball or try to deliver the knockout punch.
So a timeout going to be called on the field here. Looks like it's going to be by Decatur Central, as Coach Enright wants to talk things over here with his defense to try and keep this from being a running clock situation once we get to the second half here, Coach, because 28-0, if New Pal scores here, you're right at 35-0 considering they make the extra point. And then you have a lot less time to get things done in the second half if you want to try and make this one a game, which Decatur Central is certainly capable of doing if they're able to stop shooting themselves in the foot like we keep saying.
Without a doubt. And, again, New Pal is doing what they have to do to be successful. They're running the ball, they're throwing the ball, playing good special teams. They haven't turned it over, and I don't believe. And, again, they're controlling the line of scrimmage on both ends, and those are 3 goals that Coach Ralph had this week of, no turnovers, being great on special teams, and controlling the line of scrimmage. And they, so far in the first half, they've done all 3 of those goals.
When you execute the game plan, usually good things happen. So out of the timeout. 1 minute 48 left to work with here for the Decatur Central defense. And everybody was moving before the ball was snapped that time. So I would assume this is going to be one of those cases, Coach, where it's a false start on everyone but the center.
I'd say.
Because literally everybody was moving. So you got the center there, Trey Keel.
Yeah, he kind of looked over his coach, and he didn't get a lot of sympathy from Coach Ralph, I'll tell you that.
And you know Coach Ralph, he is a coach that demands perfection. Nice throw over the middle. And another catch close to the first down here. Ty Mitchell on the reception for New Pal.
I'll tell you what, Trippett threw that thing in there, boy. That's a nice throw and catch. Crossing route by 13 there, and did a nice job of coming across the middle. Ty Mitchell, he put it on his belly button where he didn't, or on his numbers where he didn't have to stop to catch it, and he could turn it upfield and gain some yards after the catch. So again, they're trying to see if it's first down, but I think it's going to be a half a yard short, second and short.
He's tackled out of bounds, though, so it stops the clock.
And saves him a timeout. You're exactly right.
Here's the snap. Up the middle to Grayson Thomas again. Has a lot of running room. You don't want him to have that, but the defensive backfield there of Decatur Central's able to keep the 7 off the board for now, but Thomas with a big first down run down inside the 25.
It's that counter play with the tackle pulling and Grayson hitting it up in there. Very well executed. They're good up front.
First down and 10, ball at the 28. Or the 24, excuse me. Tippett hands it off to Thomas again, tries to follow a blocker and sheds the tackler himself. Cuts back up to the middle. What a run by Grayson Thomas. Another touchdown for New Pal.
Great blocking up front. Good job. And, again, Thomas feeding off that offensive line. Did a great job of making the cut and turning on the jets and doing a good job. Now he's got to be the short snapper here. Maybe he's not.
They're going to probably take him out for a much-deserved break. So the extra point coming up here for Tanksley.
Just a zone play, and he kind of delivered a forearm shiver to the first tackler. Again, a tackler was there, and just a missed tackle on Decatur Central's part.
Presley Newkirk was the one who had his ankles broken on that one. Extra point is good here for Tanksley. And with that, Coach, if you're Decatur Central, you need to score right now. Otherwise, we are not stopping the clock in the second half.
Yeah. And they got a lot of time yet. Minute 3 with, anything could happen, especially if they get a good return.
Meanwhile, it's just been a business-as-usual night tonight here for New Pal. 2 touchdown passes for Daniel Tippett, 3 touchdown runs for Grayson Thomas. And Thomas well over 150 yards rushing by now. And now if you're Coach Kyle Ralph, you just tell your defense to put this one away and go to halftime. As Coach Ralph now working at the moment on his 106th win as the head coach of the Dragons in his 10th season. New Pal also trying to work to win their first conference championship since 2019. That's one thing that's pretty surprising, Coach, is the fact that a team as good as New Pal has not won the Hoosier Heritage Conference since 2019 because of one Mount Vernon, the Marauders. They have just been that much better in the conference these past few years.
That's amazing statistic there. You think with all the state championships that Ralph's won and the great teams that he's had and the great players, and yet they've been denied winning the conference. That's a crazy statistic.
And here's the kick here. And this time it's going to be taken by Presley Newkirk for Decatur Central, and he gets that back to just shy of the 20-yard line. So you got 58 seconds to work with here if you're Decatur Central to at least get something on the board to negate this 35-point threshold going into the second half.
Coming out with 4 wide, so it'll be interesting to see. Playing a little man-on-man with number 2 at the top.
Polston has an arm. He hands the ball off to Cox this time, and he goes nowhere with it. Wrapped up there by Ian Raudebush, right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of the yard. And if you're Decatur Central, I believe you have 1 timeout remaining. No, Decatur Central has no timeouts remaining.
I thought they used them all up.
And indeed they did. So the clock keeps moving here. So now a few more wideouts now. Polston is alone in the backfield this time.
They're empty set again, so they usually bring a guy in motion and then play off him. Yep.
They're going to run the ball again to Newkirk. And Newkirk tries to cut it back the other way. Gets a little bit of blocking, but takes up a lot of time, and that's going to be the end of the first half. So, Coach, needless to say, we're going to have a quick second half, but Decatur Central, they're going to have even less time to try and cut back into this one. But needless to say, an excellent first half here for the New Pal Dragons, 35-0 going to halftime.
Without a doubt, they've kind of manhandled Decatur Central up front. They got both phases of their offense going, both running the football and also throwing it. So.
Halftime period here at New Pal. We'll be back for the second half in just a little bit here on 9 Star TV.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Welcome back here to Kelso Stadium here on 9 Star TV, as it has been a barn burner to say the least here, at least when it comes to New Palestine, as they have a 35-0 advantage going in to half number 2. Alongside Coach Bob Bartolomeo, I'm Kurt Darling, Coach. Needless to say, it's never surprising when you're going into a New Palestine game that there could be the possibility of a running clock because of how good New Pal is. We haven't expected New Pal to be as good as they have been tonight, while also Decatur Central just really making it hard for themselves to get in this game.
Without a doubt, and I think there's truth in both things that you said. One, New Pal's a good program. New Pal's got a good football team. New Pal has a bunch of seniors that have played a lot of football for them throughout the years, and they're putting it all together here, and they doing a great job, especially this first half. On the other hand, Decatur Central, like you said, is their worst enemy is themselves. They're shooting themselves in the foot with too many penalties, and again, they made some big plays at times. But again, they're going to be okay. They just got to get it rectified and quit beating themselves, because their young quarterback's a good player. He can make some throws, and they do have some speed on the outside.
Beau Polston, you speak of their coach, has over 100 yards passing here tonight, but has not been able to basically keep any consistency and even any rhythm to speak of. That, of course, goes for the rest of the team as well. But needless to say here, some stats to look over here for New Pal, though, just to show you how dominant it's really been. Of course, Grayson Thomas, one of those touchdowns that you have seen here tonight. He has 3 of those here this evening, along with 11 carries, 174 yards on the ground. Also, Daniel Tippett, he is deadly accurate here tonight, Coach. 10 of 12 for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns, one of those going to Isaiah Thacker, as you see right there.
Without a doubt. Good job by the quarterback tonight. taking what the defense gives him. He's not trying to force the football. He's picking and choosing his receivers very wisely. They got a good thing going with some play action with their run game. And anytime you can run the ball, you got a chance to run some play action and hit some big plays, and he's done that.
And so now, Coach, as we talked about in the first half, you are going to have a running clock for the remainder of this contest as we have reached that 35-point threshold, 35-0 the score right now. So needless to say, even if Decatur Central is able to close that back to within that 35-point threshold, the clock will still remain running. So that is per IHSAA rules. So if Decatur Central wants to make a run at possibly making this thing interesting, they have a lot less time to do it.
Yeah, they're going to have to hit some big plays. And, again, you know, they're very capable of doing that. And it'll be interesting to see the approach taken by Coach Enright with the score. Is he going to be content to, just throw it every down, or is he going to continue to work on his run game, which has really been his bread and butter coming into the game? Last week they did not throw it quite as well as they did this week, but again, they had more of a running game against Columbus North.
As we talked about earlier, New Palestine back in Class 4A after spending a few seasons in Class 5A. You still see a handful of students here from Decatur Central making the trip from the southwest side of Indianapolis. New Pal winning 2 Class 5A state championships in 3 appearances in their time in Class 5A. New Pal has not had a losing season since going 3-7 back in 2012. Of course, that is ironically the year right before Kyle Ralph got hired here at New Pal, and thus then began a dynasty here in New Palestine, Indiana, of breeding football players, to say the least. 2014, New Pal set a school record for wins in a single season at 15-0. Again, just 2 years after going 3-7. That just goes to show you can't stress enough the impact that Coach Kyle Ralph has had on this program here at New Pal.
No doubt. And before the game, they had all their little guys out here in the farm system, so to speak. And, boy, there must have been over 200 kids taking the field and introduced and making it a big time for them. So he's got it on a roll, and he's doing it the right way. He's, started at the ground level, and these kids, I'm sure they're running New Pal's offense and defense, that's for sure, and got them going, and just a great football coach who works at it. And you got to respect the guy that spends as much time and effort as he does and his staff. He's got a great staff. I don't want to, talk just about the head coach, because I know how important their staff is, and he talks about that a lot, how important that is. Alex Neely's a great quarterback that played for them, is coaching the quarterbacks, and he's just got a bunch of guys that work and don't care who gets the credit, and all they do is win.
And so far they have been doing exactly that here this evening in all facets of the ball. As the second half underway, Decatur Central will be on offense here to get things going here in the second half. And here's a little bit of an opening here for Presley Newkirk before he gets tackled by the jersey right at the 35-yard line. And so nearly busting that free there was Presley Newkirk to at least give a little bit of spark here for Decatur Central. And as you see here, Coach, the clock is running regardless, unless there is a timeout called. The only time they will stop the clock is if there is an extended injury, a timeout, or also a penalty as well.
Well, like you said, DC's got to get some things going here this first series. First downs. That's can't get it all in one play. Just got to create some go, and again, New Pals don't want to sit on their haunches, and they want to play aggressive football, because anytime you just look around and wait for the game to be over, that's when injuries occur, and they don't want that to happen. So
there's Beau Polston on the call.
Got to keep playing. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good, Coach.
Yeah.
Certainly got to talk about a lot of things here, of course, with a 35-0 deficit here for Decatur Central. You still have the starting defense out here for New Pal.
Oh, yeah, I'd see them playing a series or two, that's for sure, to get it going. And then, because of the explosiveness of Decatur Central, Ralph won't pull them too quick, I'm sure.
Polston from the pistol. On the play action and an interception right into the hands of Ian Roudebush, and he is going to make it a pick six as well. Making the bleeding even worse here for Decatur Central as the New Pal defense gets in on the scoring action as well.
I just ran a RPO there, where the quarterback pulled it and tried to hit that seam route, and Roudebush read it all the way from his linebacker spot. Did a nice job in fact, that was a great read because his guard pulled away from him, and you'd think naturally that linebacker would go with the guard, but instead he planted that inside foot and dropped right into the throwing lane and picked it for 6.
The first ever pick 6 for Ian Roudebush, his first interception of the season as well. And the extra point is through the uprights again here for Tanksley, who has hit all but one of the PATs so far here tonight. Of course, that PAT negated by a successful 2-point conversion by the New Pal offense. 42-0 now here, Coach, as again a rarity for the stoppage of the clock here to change possession here before we keep things moving here.
Well, that didn't take long, did it?
No, it did not.
Oh, man.
If there's one thing that New Pal has certainly been patenting, it is an efficient scoring ability, regardless of whether you're on offense or defense.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the freshman kid. He can't let that pass get to him to the point where, he's been playing pretty well for a freshman, and he's going to be a good player. And just got to come back here on this series, get his chin out of his chest, and, make the next play. That's all.
That is Polston's first career interception. So, needless to say, going a game and a half without an interception in your first time out playing high-level high school football, I'd say that's a pretty good run.
Without a doubt. And, again, as you go through this thing, as he'll learn a lot from this game and take it to the next game and make himself a better player, because he sure does have a lot of ability. Got a lot of athletic ability, and he can throw it pretty well for a 6'2" freshman.
A long end-over-end kick here from Tanksley. This time going to be taken by Callahan, and he gets that back to the 25-yard line. A de facto touchback there for Decatur Central. Decatur Central has been playing organized football since the 1940s. They have an overall program record of 420 wins, 356 losses, and 10 ties. They're also a founding member of the Mid-State Conference, which they are a part of now. However, they spent some time in Conference Indiana from the early 70s all the way up to 2005 before rejoining the Mid-State. And here's a timeout going to be called by, looks like, Decatur Central.
I think New Pal was man short, so I think Ralph had to use a timeout. He's not very happy right now. I saw him take those headsets off, and he's getting after somebody up there. So they didn't want that. That's what we kind of talked about here in the last series, is you don't want to let, your mental capacities slip here in terms of being ready to play football, because that's when bad things happen to you physically. You got to stay in the game, keep playing, play hard each and every snap, because if you don't and you're out there kind of, going through things halfway, that's when bad things happen, and that's could be unfortunate.
Be sure to join us next week here on 9-Star TV as the Greenfield Central Cougars will be taking on the Mount Vernon Marauders. Joey Lindstrom and Joe Polizzi on the call for that one. Kickoff at about 7 o'clock right here on 9-Star TV.
I'd like to see the freshmen make some plays here, get back on the good side of things.
So Polston off the interception. Lets it fly, and it falls incomplete.
Little miscommunication there. The quarterback thought he was going to keep going up the hash mark, and the receiver made a break to the post, and just a miscommunication, which happens as a young guy. And, you know, but again, trying to take a shot. That's the Decatur Central way there. That's how they're going to score, is with their athletic ability on the perimeter.
Polston with 3 wideouts to his near side. Here's the snap. And Polston's just going to go on the keeper here. And he plows forward for a solid gain of about 5 yards. And, you know, Coach, that's one thing that this freshman has certainly been able to show, is the fact that he is not afraid to get down and dirty when he has to.
That was a good hit by 12, I think, Blaine Nunley. That was a good shoulder pad hit, and kind of stuck the freshman. But like you said, he hung it up in there, got it to third and manageable. So got to get a first down here.
3rd down and 5. Polston back to pass again, has his man. That's going to be Callahan, and he turns upfield for a first down. And so there's your first down, Coach.
Yep. It's what it takes. You got to get one to get the next one. So, again, taking what they give them. They went to a 3-deep zone and let the receiver really wide open there for first down yardage in the flat. So, again, pretty conservative call defensively on 3rd and 5, but the quarterback was smart enough to take what the defense gave him.
Already nearly halfway done here in this 3rd quarter. Polston, quick throw out to his left. And that's LaFollette, who tries to shake his way through the defenders but goes nowhere, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Little exit screen there to the wideout off the play action, and trying to get the ball on the outside with their juice players there a little bit, and trying to make a guy miss and make a big play out of it. But good tackling by the New Pal defense. They've done a good job, I think, all evening of tackling people.
Polston with a little bit of blocking. Over the middle, has his man. That's again Callahan, but it just slips through his fingers, incomplete. That was a well-thrown ball there by the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, they brought the blitz and picked it up pretty well. Decatur did, and got the seam route, and I believe that was 12. Nunley again making that play to kind of knock it down. I think he came over the shoulder there a little bit. There you go.
Blaine Nunley, the leading tackler coming into this contest on the defensive front here for New Pal.
He's played a lot of football. I'll tell you, these kids, we've had these games a couple years, and you're calling the same guys, so you know they've got a lot of experience.
You've got both Blaine and Bryant Nunley, brothers. And coming on that one, there is a big completion there for Coleman, as you saw Eli Hook bearing down hard on Polston, but Polston is able to get the ball away just in time. And a big first down throw there.
What a tough guy this freshman is, hanging in there. Yeah, I know you could feel that blitz coming, but yet he hung in there and whipped that thing out there for a big play. I'll tell you, that's kudos to that kid for because that defender came in unblocked.
Eli Hook, who already has a touchdown tonight on the offensive side of the ball. And another good throw out here to Callahan. He shakes a tackle, and he is trying to get off of Nunley there, and he powers his way down inside of the 20.
On a little roll here, aren't they? They got a little momentum. They're taking what the defense gives them. They're not trying to get it all in one hit. And, again.
And Easton, you have a couple substitutions here, subs in here now for New Pal. Is there a flag on the near side of the sideline here? I'm not seeing any laundry. It looks like the officials are trying to figure out if there was a flag or not. As you see, Nunley might get a little bit of a horse collar. No, they're going to call a face mask on the offense right there. Wow, so that negates an excellent passing catch there to Coleman. And so that'll be 15 yards from the previous spot.
Yeah, I think the receiver here tried to stiff arm the tackler with his left hand here. You can see that, and inadvertently.
And he grabbed
his mask, and that's a penalty. So again, a big play, negated and kept it back. But it's still not bad. It's 1st and 10. Good field position.
Long throw, incomplete, looking for Coleman again. As we tick inside of 3 minutes now in the third quarter.
Good play there by the freshman. I think he threw that thing away because he was well covered. And I thought he just threw it over the head of the receiver and lived to play another down, 2nd and 10.
Certainly, given the situation, you've got to like the play of Beau Polston right here, just keeping his feet underneath him and still making some excellent throws.
Against their number one defense.
Polston hands the ball off to Newkirk. He tries to turn the corner, nearly does. Maybe gets a couple yards out to the 40, down to the 39.
Great pursuit by the New Pal defense going right down the line. They kind of had the edge, but the pursuit caught up with them. And, again, they keep rotating those down guys in there, playing a lot of people. But they keep that Thacker kid in there because he's a difference maker at 52.
So the ball is right at the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 8 here for the Hawks. Polston has to get rid of it, and the pass is low and right through the fingers of his receiver, LaFollette.
Changed the coverage a little bit, went a little bit of a two-man there on the outside, and Decatur had the right play run called, and they ran it a little in-out on the number 2 and just didn't get it to him. 4th down and 8. What do you got?
Pretty much anything you can muster here at this point.
Yeah.
They're going to go for it.
Been lucky with that short side receiver going to the stick and hanging in there.
Here's Polston rolling to his right. Lobs it up, nearly intercepted, and it is an interception. That time on the coverage is going to be Daniel Thacker, getting his first INT of the season. And the second tonight here for Beau Polston. As the clock continues to roll here. And this will probably take us to the end of quarter number 3. Needless to say, Coach, I mean, you got to do something to go for that 4th down. Maybe just push the limit a little too far there.
Now you want to get real particular about the whole thing? If you're a defensive coach, knock it down. You just lost 5 yards.
Indeed you did. Absolutely.
You had had the ball at the 42 versus the 35. So,
end of quarter number 3 here on 9 Star TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
One more quarter left to go here on 9 Star TV. Kurt Darling, Coach Bob Bartolomeo here with you for one more quarter in a running clock situation. And, Coach, as you take a look at that scoreboard right there, 42-0. All New Pal this evening, and mostly because of the fact that the Decatur Central Hawks, they did not have a good first half due to the fact that they had 9 penalties on everything else. Believe it or not, Coach, that whole time they only had 1 penalty in the third quarter compared to 9 in the first half.
Yeah, they did a better job of that, and what happened? They moved the football. I mean, they had a nice drive, and they got it down there, and had a chance to make some hay, but looks like New Pal's got some reserves in now, and Ralph's kind of called off the troops there, so to speak. I know up front he's got some different guys in there, and it looks like the tailback and quarterback are subs also.
And so Coach Ralph skipping the backup quarterback on his depth chart here. Instead, he's going to be going with Brady Armstrong, a 5'9", 164-pound junior at the quarterback spot here.
Oh, this is a good move on his part. You know, these kids practice. They come every day. They're probably members of the scout team, and, you know, they get knocked around a little bit, but now they get a taste of Friday night, which is really neat.
So you've got Armstrong in the gun, also Daniel Thacker, who's just had that interception. He has the ball here, and he's going to cut back into the middle, down to the 35-yard line. So Daniel Thacker, a defensive back by trade for this New Pal squad, getting some excellent minutes here in the halfback spot. A big rush there for a first down.
It looks like DC's got some subs in also, so it should match up fairly well here as they go through it. Again, just a zone play and a nice cut by Thacker, and he's off to the races and finally run down by the Decatur Central defense.
Elijah Trammell on the tackle there for Decatur. So Thacker to Armstrong's right. And a low snap. Armstrong on the keeper. He's going to go right up the sideline. And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds right at the 15-yard line. So that'll blow the play dead right there.
Nothing special, just a quarterback sweep coming around the end and got the edge. It looked like the defensive end took the inside gap, and nice block, a crack block by the number 5, the wideout, and off to the races went the quarterback.
So Coach Ralph has Ian Raudebush as the backup quarterback on his depth chart, but probably to keep some players healthy since he is the starting linebacker for the New Pal defense. You have Armstrong getting some reps here at quarterback. Armstrong again on another quarterback sweep, this time a block from Thacker, and he is leveled out of bounds and runs right into our 9-star cameraman down there. And it looks like everything's all right. There's a view right there. Everybody's on the field. And everybody's okay. As you can see, everybody checking out here, making sure we're all good. Certainly appreciate the crew of our 9-star TV crew here tonight, doing an excellent job getting us on the air.
They always do a great job.
And here's a live look at that replay here of what our cameraman saw. Just tackled right into it, and you know the rest. So here's Thacker on the call now as he tries to spin his way for a first down, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit shy here, maybe a couple yards.
I think Ralph's doing a good job here telling the quarterback not to snap the ball till about 5 seconds to go, which is, you know, they're not trying to bury him here. They're just trying to get some reps in and finish the game out. So he holds on to the football and doesn't snap it till 5 seconds to go, and you know, and that's a great show of sportsmanship on Coach Ralph's part, I think.
Armstrong sweeping it again to the right. And this time he spins right in for another New Pal touchdown. And so the reserve getting some meaningful minutes here late in the game puts the Dragons up 48-0.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing anything special. They're running quarterback sweep. They ran it every play, I believe. And, again, you know, hats off to the young guys up front for New Pal, blocking people. And, you know, hey, it's your job as the defense to stop them. So, again, I go back to, you know, Ralph's not trying to run the score up, that's for sure. He's you know, maintaining the quarterback when he snaps the ball. He's maintaining the type of plays they're running. So he's showing good sportsmanship. It's just, you know, unfortunate Decatur's got their, you know, their subs are a little bit better than Decatur's. And that's just football. So But Kyle will get them back. Kyle Enright, Coach Enright over there, he'll get them back next week and get them going. And, they don't they go next week. Do you know who they have?
They have Whiteland at home next week.
Oh, boy.
To start conference play in the Mid-State.
Yeah, Whiteland's a good football team. Darren Fisher down there does a great job. They always are running the football, and he's done a good job, for a long time down in Whiteland. And so that'll be, it doesn't get any easier. Where's New Pal? They go up to
New Pal will be going up to Yorktown here to start a 3-game conference road stand. Ooh. They will not be back at home here until September 23rd against Greenfield Central. In fact, this is the second home game in a row. They only have 2 more home games this regular season all season long because they go on the road for 3 straight weeks, then come home against Greenfield Central on the 23rd of September. Then they go back on the road again against Shelbyville and Newcastle in October before they close out the regular season against Delta October 14th.
Delta's playing pretty well. They had a tough game against Muncie Central last week and had a nice win, and I think they're up at Columbia City this week. Reason I know that, old Coach Lynch is out there helping his son, Billy. He's back at coaching and helping up at Delta, and I think they have Big Bill up in the press box trying to sort and sift things out.
Good old Bill Lynch, former coach at DePauw as well as Indiana University.
And Butler.
And Butler and Ball State, where basically anywhere that there's been a college football program in the state of Indiana, he might have been there. Of course, Coach, you've probably gone up against him a couple times as well.
I've been with him more than against him. So I've been on his team.
That's a good place to be then.
Yeah, exactly. We've had a lot of success and a lot of fun coaching football together for a lot of number of years and made a lot of friends, and as we went through this business, some 40 years for myself.
And just talking about New Pal's schedule here, that middle game of that 3-game road stand is Mount Vernon up in Fortville. So needless to say, that might, Coach, based on the rest of the performance of the HHC, that might be a game for the conference championship, because the last couple times that Mount Vernon has won the conference championship, it has come also with a win over New Pal.
That's a good program. Coach Leidy's done a great job there. Coach Kirshner obviously got it going. And then Leidy took over last year or 2 years ago. And, he's just full of a lot of emotion and play, and coaches that way, and does a great job and relates to the kids. Looks like Decatur's got some young kids in here. Got to change at quarterback.
So Decatur Central just kind of working some set pieces here. As you have Inpo Dodo in at quarterback, it appears. Either that or no. Actually, it's 26, Deontay Fowler.
Yeah, it looks like Fowler's the guy at playing a little bit of quarterback there. And again, Coach Enright's just running the clock and running run plays here and not trying to do anything too fancy. Giving some kids some reps, though. They'll appreciate that, and they'll give you a better look next week because they got to play a little bit.
Of course, I mentioned Enpo Dodo. He is in at wide receiver for a couple of snaps here as they give up to gut to their running back. So this will be Decatur Central's first loss on the season after winning their opener against Columbus North. This will be Coach Enright's 16th loss in 7 seasons. Still an excellent winning percentage, to say the least. But as the old adage goes, Coach, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Staying in long enough, and, things happen. Good things and bad things. So, again, that's the way it goes in football.
Decatur Central, the Class 5A number 2 ranked team coming into this one. Meanwhile, New Palestine still playing as if they are a 5A team. They are 4A now, top ranked in that class coming into this one. But they've certainly played like they play at a much higher level, and they do on a regular basis, regardless of the class that they're in.
Yeah, I'd say that, New Pal will stay at number 1. Decatur Central will take a hit here, but, They got a good football team. I tell you, they got a good nucleus, starting with that young quarterback, and got some wideouts. I think some of their injuries hurt them. They lost their fullback type of kid. They lost their one tackle, and you know, it's pretty hard to come in with some new blood against this good New Pal team.
Jalen Shanks on the carry there for Decatur Central. Of course, the left tackle you mentioned there, Coach, Javian Jones, a 6'3", 285-pound junior, not active tonight, out with an injury, as well as regular supporting running back Halbert Aquare, 6'1", 205 pounds, also out tonight with a leg injury.
Yeah, I think he was a linebacker, a star linebacker for him also.
Indeed he was.
Along with Stevens. So
you had Cameron Rennick getting the start tonight in his place. He had a tackle for loss earlier. So Deontay Fowler on the call there again.
They got a 4th down here. I'd say they'll try and get the first down, try and run the ball. They have nothing to lose here, and again, try and get a first down and see if he can break one.
And certainly we've seen a stout defense tonight among the starters here for New Pal.
They've done a good job, I'll tell you that. You know.
And there's the call up the middle to Shanks, and he gets a first down on 4th and short.
It's good to see, you know. Good to see a little battle in their eyes, and these young kids haven't quit and got after it a little bit, and taking advantage of their opportunities. And as a coach, you know, you'll get them on film and correct some mistakes, and you might find somebody here that can, you know, that maybe shows up in a game that didn't quite make it in practice in terms of getting a great look. So
Decatur Central won this matchup a year ago, 31-29. And, of course, that was despite 132 yards rushing from Grayson Thomas last year. Well, needless to say, he's got a little bit of that and then some. 177 yards rushing tonight for Grayson Thomas and a blowout victory. So a little bit of revenge from their regular season matchup a year ago here for New Pal.
Yeah, it was a one-sided game because of Decatur, you know, initially had some plays where they could have made a game out of it, but shot themselves in the foot. But and again, New Pal had a lot to say about that, though, both offensively, defensively, and kicking game-wise.
Long pass here coming from Freeman, or rather Fowler, excuse me, and it goes incomplete. But you mentioned those penalties, Coach. 10 total penalties tonight, but 9 of those coming in the first half for Decatur.
Yeah, when it counted. I mean, you know, in terms of the running clock deal, but they all count. But, you know, 9 of those, and it hurt them at critical times for those kids, for their team in terms of moving the football and being able to do it. Looks like that's the game.
And so there we go. So the clock will run out here. New Pal getting a decisive victory tonight, 49-0. A dominant night throwing the ball by Daniel Tippett. A dominant night rushing the ball by Grayson Thomas, as well as a dominant night receiving the ball by Isaiah Thacker, getting a touchdown, as well as Eli Hook, and then also Brady Armstrong in substitution time getting a 15-yard run to get the capping score at 49 points here for New Pal. New Pal moves to 2-0 on the season. Decatur Central falls to 1-1. And next up for New Pal, you have Yorktown on the road to start conference play, Coach. Needless to say, it's a whole new season now for New Pal now that they get into HHC play.
Yeah, it's a new season, done with the preseason and ready to get into the conference play. But they're a good football team. They're going to be reckoned with here in the 22 season.
Decatur Central takes on Whiteland next week on September 2nd. Coach, a pleasure working with you here this evening. Even though it was a dominant victory, a good one here. Hope to work with you again sometime soon.
Kurt, you do a great job, and credit to your industry and the play-by-play. I'm just a guy, so.
Well, you're the coach. Credit to you as well for your expertise as well. For all of us here at 9 Star TV, for Coach Bob Bartolomeo, I'm Kurt Darling saying so long. Final score once again, 49-0. New Pal knocks off Decatur Central. You've been watching IHSA football here on 9 Star TV. So long, everybody. Thank you.